Okay, this is a video about my my issue with shutting down this generator set, Cummins. This is my 1944 operator's instruction manual. It says don't decompress it when it's running faster than idling speed, and don't use shut-off cock to stop engine except in the case of engine runoff. But I'm going to use the shut-off cock to slow down the engine. I'll show you the situation here. Here the throttle is at full and it's pinned at full. That larger rod there is the linkage. And here's the high and the low side of the stops. And you can see that the high side is still safety wired from the factory with the lead seal. I removed a safety wire and the lead seal off of the low side. I removed the set screw also. You'll see in here I have taken all the adjustment out of the throttle rod to try and get it to run slower than 1,000 RPM. 1,000 RPM is what it idles at. Also, you'll see in here, or you won't see in here, is the idle rod. What they call the idle rod in the manual goes through this boss here and goes to that bell crank back there. This is a different setup here because of the dashboard. Now, with all the adjustment taken out of the shaft, out of the throttle rod, you can see that I have the stop as far as it'll go, and I've gained maybe a ½ inch lower than the idle peg hole. It still idles. It still runs at 1,000 RPM here. So that's my situation. Now, what I'm going to do, here's the emergency shutdown bell crank. It's running in full position now, and I can bring it to emergency stop, which is there, or I can bring it about halfway and it'll run at about 400 RPM. So with this set at halfway and it's still running at 400. Actually, I can get it down to about 350 if I wanted to, if I waited long enough, played with the lever. I'm still getting fuel to the disc. So it's running with the bell crank about halfway. So what I'm going to do is I'll get the engine running as slow as I can, 400, 350, and then I'll decompress it and hold it, and then as it's shutting down, I'm going to take the bell crank and move it to full. And I've tried this a couple of times, and I get a puff of white smoke out the stack. So I know that I still have fuel and 2-cycle oil mixed with the fuel. I know I still have that going through the pump. So that's the way I'm going to shut this thing down now. I have been using the emergency shut-off because I didn't know any better until I got the manual. So again, the Army manual says nothing, zero, nada, nothing about how to shut this thing down. It doesn't even mention the emergency shut-off at all. It shows it in the parts page, but in the manual, the operating manual for the Army, it does not mention the emergency shut-off cock or valve. So this is a situation I have with this I guess it's because it's the Woodward generator governor and they want the thing to idle at 1,000. It'd been nice if they said how to shut it off though. Okay, thanks for watching my video.